Wasn't he all? Listen to this, Mike. Don't this sound so much better? Oh my goodness. We got this thing together now. God loved Leon. Loved him even through the darkest times. Loved him so much that he gave him Jesse. Loved him so much that he gave him Levi. Loved him so much that he gave him you. And Leon expressed his love to all of you. A few months ago, my wife and I, we went to see The Lion King. Anybody here seen The Lion King? I have seen The Lion King 275,300 times. Because I have 3 kids. And I've seen every Lion King. We had to throw the DVD away. But my wife, she said, you know what? Let's go see the Lion King musical. And so we went down to Costa Mesa to see the Lion King. And while I was sitting there watching the Lion King, who remembers the Lion King? You know, it was Simba who was accused of killing his father, and then he ran away and he started hanging out with Timon and they were a warthog. And Simba forgot who he was. And then this little preacher monkey by the name of Rafiki came over and was talking to him. And Rafiki said, come here. You look just like your father. So I see your father. And Simba said, no, I don't see him. Then he said, come look into the river. And Simba looked down into the river, and the whole thing Simba saw was himself. But then Rafiki, being the Baptist preacher that he was, hit him on the head and said, look again. And then Simba looked some more, and the next thing you know, he saw his father. Every time you look in the mirror, every time you do something kind to a person, every time you're at a restaurant and you see somebody who's having a bad day, and instead of you making it worse, you turn around and make them better by giving them a big tip or smiling at them, you look just like Leon. You reflect Leon. We get a glimpse of Leon every time you do something like that. One of the biggest questions we often ask ourselves is, why did he have to go? Anybody ever ask that question? Can I give you an even better question to ask? Why did God allow us to stay? He allowed us to stay so that we can keep on doing the great things that Leon has done. Every time you do something awesome, you are a reflection of Leon. And we thank God for him today. I need y'all to do one thing for me before I sit down. I need you to stand to your feet and give Leon a standing ovation. That everybody outside walking into heaven, his mother Leroy is waiting for him there. Man that he was. Each and every one of us. You of Leon the third.
And don't you be afraid. Joy comes in the morning. Troubles, they don't last always. For there's a friend named Jesus who will wipe your tears away. And if your heart is broken, just lift your hands and say, I know that I can make it. I know that I can stand. No matter what may come my way, my life is in His hand. With Jesus I can make it. With Him I know I can stand. No matter what may come my way, my life is in His hand. And through your tests and trials, they may seem to get you down. And all your friends and loved ones, they're nowhere to be found. Remember, there's a friend named Jesus. He can wipe your tears away. And if your heart is broken, just lift your hands and say, I know that I can make it. I know that I can stand. No matter what may come my way, my life is in His hand. With Jesus I can make it. With Him I know I can stand. No matter what may come my way, my life is in His hand. My life is in His hand. My life is in His hand. He's got the whole world 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 in His hand. He's got Leon and Lee Boy in His hand.
One last thing I wanted to do with all of you right now is you now have to have your own relationship with Leon in a different way. Your memories with Leon now are going to be different than they were when he was in a body, because his spirit is still here. His spirit will still be by your side. You'll get little hellos from him. You'll see something that'll remind you of him. The timing will feel like, what? How could that have been possible? And your new memories with him as spirit can continue on till you meet him again. So I'd like you to take a moment of silence, and however it is you do your spiritual thing, whether you pray or you want to talk in your mind or whatever it is you want to do, to have your own special connection with Leon. Please take a few minutes of silence. I like to imagine him hugging me, and I like feeling the weight of his body and the warmth, and he fills my heart when I start feeling lonely. I just think of him that way, and it fills my heart. After we close here, this will be open for you guys to come up and see him, and you'll see he's wearing his championship ring from when he won the Fiesta Bowl, big moment in his life. Yep. And you'll see a name tag that has his name, says 2016. 2016 is when he got inducted into the Hall of Fame in Wyoming. And the ball that's next to that was signed by his teammates that were still alive. He had already lost several teammates then. So it's a special ball for him because his group came back together. And the year we went to the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl, the year he got inducted in 2016, there was 40 of us that flew out there to Wyoming. He took 4 tables of 10, and we took over the town. We were wearing these yellow shirts that said Broussard 76. Everybody's like, who's Broussard? So we felt very VIP-ish, and that was a great moment for him to get inducted. The other big thing you'll see there is his football from when he won the CIF championship. It was one of the first championships that the school that he coached in had won in a very long time, so that was very monumental. You'll see his PK ring, which was the nickname for his father. Very special story there that I'm not going to share at the moment. Those of you who know it, you know it. And his wedding ring. He's also holding a medal, one that his baby sister gave him for protection in travel, and a medal of St. Mary in honor of his best friend who is currently fighting cancer, Dennis Baker, if you guys know him. He's currently, in the throes of fighting. His hat, and you'll see a picture of Dad. You'll see them dressed up. He looks like his daddy right now. We are going to open it for people to speak if anybody wants to speak.
So, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to come forward. We know that public speaking sometimes is scary for some, but obviously he touched a lot of lives. A memory or story that you have might be more of his life that the family gets to share. So, thanks for being brave today. If you could be about 2 minutes, 5 minutes tops, that'd be wonderful. Thank you so much.
I'm Leon's baby sister, Michelle. I'm the youngest of 6 kids. That was my big brother. I'm going to keep this very short and very sweet because I don't want anyone to be offended that name cannot be mentioned because brother was Mickey but I do know that my husband loves his wife and respected her. Anytime you asked him anything, he always said, well, let me talk to him about it. Now, he might have already made his own knocking up, but he wasn't going to tell you until it was confirmed by his wife. Leon loved his children. He loved his children, all of them. Kelly, Kevin, to their twin brothers. Leon he was everything to everybody. He was a friend to everybody. He wasn't just my big brother. He was my cousin's big brother. He was our friend's big brother. He was the neighbor's big brother. He was everybody's big brother. And to say that when they told me that he had a heart attack, I was like, as big as his heart was, and he gave so much of it. He gave it to everyone. He made everyone feel so special. They were the only special person in his life. Leon, a person who was an introvert and hadn't spoken in years. Leon could have a 5-hour conversation with him. And with a person who was the saddest person or the most somberest person in the world and hadn't laughed in years, Leon was having his stitches on the floor crying laughter. And it's ironic that she spoke about where he had been in Las Vegas. A girlfriend of mine that I went to elementary school with. Arlette and her last name is Jones now. She says, she took a picture and she says, me and my hubby, sends me a text. And she says, and this guy says his name is Leon Broussard. Is this your brother? He's funny as hell. And I'm like, doo. Yes, that is. So the running joke in our family was, if Leon didn't know him and I didn't know him, they were born last night. I can't imagine you the flood of support. The families that Leon had were so extensive. They extended from Wyoming for players here to support me that played all the way back in for the whole athletic department from 1974 all the way to 1984. I met and he encountered Rosie, Pat Brown, Dan, all of them. Those were his friends. I can't even talk about Cliff and Deal. This man right here brought me a whole nother set of brothers from other mothers that I can't even mention. But I can't call all their names. But Cliff and Deal were. Cliff, rest in peace. Got my brother now. Got my nephew. You got my big brother Daniel. You got mom and daddy. I'm going to tell you, this man was so special. My aunt Eva lived next door to us. And she had got diagnosed with stomach cancer. She was not going to take any treatment or have a surgery done. But Leon is getting married in May. And he was marrying Ann, Kelly and Kevin and Katie's mom. My Eva said, if I have this surgery, will I be well enough? So when my nephew gets married on May 22nd, May 23rd, I can still make monkey bread and homemade rolls for his wedding. And Lord have mercy, Jesus, did she lay it out? Between her, my Aunt Lady, my Uncle Joe. Cause I'm telling you right now, they don't get down. Because my Uncle Manuel up there, he got a silver roast and you can cut that joker rare, medium, well, wherever you want it. My Uncle Joe got it laid out here. He got etouffee and everything on the table. And my mama, she's over there stirring the pot of gumbo. And Eula and Aunt Lady, they got rolls and monkey bread. And his cousin Joanne, who loved him to death, she got him a German chocolate cake and a pound cake sitting there. So all I can say is that all of the families that he brought to us were always special. Whether they were the fellows we grew up with and the people we grew up with, I never forget Leah. She's sitting right back there. My first friend, her and Cynthia, 60 years. My brother-in-law Harry taught me on the drive at 10 years old. Because he had to make lemonade out of his lemons because he was not able to play Little League sports because he was too big. At 10, he was already almost 6 feet tall and almost 200 pounds. So Harry taught him to drive. Harry taught him to drive, and he hit Leah's mother's car. And I'm going to end it here. This is how strong he was. And he was strong like that for everybody. He wrapped a towel around his hand and raised up the hood to the VW, a Volkswagen. And it was the trunk. And he took his hand and punched the dent clean out at like 11 years old. And it was smooth as a baby's body. So that shows his strength. My brother left me enough knowledge, love, and laughter that his existence will live within me forever. I hope he lives within you. Because he was a great man. He was that man. And he was a man of all men. Just like my father, Leon Broussard Jr.
Hi.
Dennis Jr. and has his needs. Not necessarily biologically, but he was amazing. He actually helped me make my best friend, actually. We met when we were in 6th grade at a family function, and ever since then we've just been best friends, and especially after the passing of Leon. But this is about how amazing he was and how loving he was to everybody. I actually made a joke while we were up here about how his heart was probably the same size as one of those footballs, with how he just passed it around to everyone, especially in different seats. He loved everyone. And how I just make jokes about how he was everybody's uncle. You could just see him talking to like anybody and everybody, any kid, any grown person. He was their uncle. He was giving them love. He was giving them advice. And I hope to live every day to be his loving and patient and his kindness to his bed. It makes me really sad. And I didn't really see how beautiful he was until right now. So beautiful, so clean. I just hope everyone can remember how loving he was and not how sad he died.
Broussard. I am the first cousin of Leon, and it's 5 of us girls. I'm the youngest. Our fathers were brothers, and Leon was my brother. He was my first cousin, but he was the brother I never had, and we were extremely close. Don't know when that happened, but it did. And I was his favorite, just so. Gentle giant, and there wasn't anything that he would not do for me. He lived his life calling me when he was on the road all the time. And Michelle and I battled whose big brother he really was. But he loved us both enough to share his love. Thank you guys for knowing my cousin. And if you knew him, your heart is full right now. And I just want to say, Jessica, you will always be my cousin. Always. And I love you so much. And thank you for loving him so much.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm Leon's other son. As a podcaster, I apologize for this. It's driving me crazy. This audio. Strong word. But Leon came into our life when we were 3, 5 years old. And, he knew the Lasher family, which was my mom's family, since he was in high school. And apparently we heard through the stories of my dad, my other dad who's here, that he was at the Lasher's house when my dad started dating my mom. And the connection is just unbelievable. Their relationship didn't work out, didn't last long, and but Leon was always there. And there was never a Christmas, there was never an Easter or anything that we didn't go to 41st in Normandy and we weren't welcome. And I want to say to the Broussard family out here is that not only Leon, but the entire Broussard family, I've never seen unconditional love from a family like that. And the original Pops, Leon Broussard Sr., was about 5'6", 140 pounds, soaking wet. And I couldn't understand because I was 5'6", 140 pounds, how the hell he made Leon. But then you met Gloria. And okay, I'm not going to sit on that couch with the plastic because Grandma said, that's not the one, son. But if you're honest, if you knew the 80s on 41st in Normandy, it was a tough town. And I never thought any different that we were three white kids in pastels and the wrong colors in the wrong neighborhood. Eating food that I had no business eating, hot links that I would sit on the toilet for 8 hours afterwards. But they showed love. And Leon never asked me to call him Leon. He said, "You are my son. And you have two dads." And now that I'm older and I have my own children, I understand how unique that is. That it was Leon that said, "Listen, Jack, I'm going to be at your practice. Your dad's going to be at your practice. I'm going to be at the game. You're going to be at the game. We got black, we got white, we got everything. Everybody doesn't give a crap about. Listen, baby, don't worry about it. You know, yeah." And I don't know, like Pastor, you. And Leon transcended that. He transcended that. And privately, I think privately we had conversations on faith and belief. We did not go to church. We just didn't. But if there was anybody Christ-like, it was Leon. And we have a younger sister, Jackie. And I was jealous for many years because now Jackie is on the pedestal. And she became a better soccer player than me. And but Jackie is the light of his world. And he has so much love to give, as this room knows, that every one of us felt like his son or his brother or his cousin or his niece. And I feel that was a form of genius, that he could make every single one of us feel some way, that every single person in this room can feel like me. I want to say I was his son, but we are all his son, his brother, his uncle, his anybody. Remember when he was talking about getting remarried, and we had some grown man talks. Because I'm a grown man, and I became more of a friend and a son. And he was like, "Baby, I don't know. I've been down that road. I've been married. I got all you damn kids. Jessica wants to have kids. I don't want to have no damn kids. I'm old as hell. I used to see all the gray hair. Baby, I ain't going down that road." But then we had the next call was that he loved you no matter what. And he's like, "If Jessica wants to get married and have kids, then what the hell am I supposed to do? I love Jessica." And when Leroy came, that was the new light of the world. All of a sudden, Jackie took the back seat, right? And man, did I watch with pride about how much he poured into Leroy and how proud he was of your relationship and how proud he was of Leroy. And I remember knowing Pops, we grew up. And by the way, I call him Pops because he had so much reverence for his dad. Everybody called him Pops. So when I had kids and he always talked about his father, I wanted to respect him and start calling him Pops. And so I call him Pops just in case because of PK Senior. So, but I saw we had some more grown man talks, and I was like, "Hey, Pops, you're this football star, you're WAC champion. You had me running the damn tires and lifting weights and weight gainer, and I was always trying to be 6'4", 350, and I was always 5'6". And I was like, how come you don't make Leroy do nothing? You don't make him do. You whip my ass all day long, because I told him I want to play football. Play video games all day? And he's like, "Listen, Kev, he's a lot smarter than you." Leroy's got straight A's, you know. He's like, "Man, let the boy play the video games, you know." But he loved you. He loved Leroy. And I've seen, like you said, Pastor, I've seen beauty out of the loss of our mom. I've seen beauty out of the loss of Leroy. And it hurts. This hurts. I'm sitting here. I want to feel it. It hurts. But I have seen, even in the last couple weeks, beauty. And even driving out to Blythe and bringing him back, there were some beautiful things along the way. And it's not coincidental. This is God's hand on us. And I think I've had some grown man talks, even recently, and I agree with you. There was a tone change. There was a time change where instead of talking to him, he would not answer that damn cell phone. He was present, and I feel that he knew that his time was short. And in those grown man talks recently, he was talking about all that you've gone through, and how Jesse is my rock, and how without Jesse I'd be nowhere, and so I wanted to say thank you for taking care of our dad. We love you, Jess.
My name.
If you have a 8VNG552, your hazard lights are on, just FYI. If you want to turn them off.
How can I follow that? My name is Vince Sherlock. I've known Leon, to be exact. People that are larger than life. Leon's definitely the epitome of that. I had the fortunate but also unfortunate experience of playing football with Leon. I'll explain that to you. We got out on the field and we did something called the Green Bay drill, where one player was the ball carrier, the other person was the tackler. So, we had an insane football coach who was an ex-drill instructor from the Marines, and we used to always talk to each other in the locker room, getting ready. How is he today? Oh, he's bad. He's in a bad mood. I go, oh my God. Then I was always hoping that Leon was sick. There's Leon putting on his stuff. I'm going, oh my God, don't let them call our two names. Of course, this third sets of players, Broussard, Sherlock, get out here. So, we lined up, and I'm looking at Leon. God, don't let me get killed here. So Leon got running the other way. So he caught up with me, and I felt this hand on the back of my shoulder pads lifting me up, and there I am running, like it's a cartoon. And then he called out three things I didn't want to hear. Run it again. I said, I can't go running again. I got to go against you. So we pop up. I go running towards Leon. I tried to go underneath his legs. That didn't work out. I popped up, and my helmet was sideways. That guy is the coolest guy, the sweetest guy I've ever met. Miss him forever. I love you, big guy.
So, I met Leon in 2000. Worked with him in the car industry that I'm sure half of you, or actually all of you, probably bought a car from. The pleasure of and when he showed up and he shook my hand disappeared. Oh, you're here for the Volkswagen? Okay, yes. Carlos, you could deal with him. I wasn't. It was just a man of a man. And after several deals, going to different breakfasts at different locations, we always ended up at Eat Well, some place in Glendale that he loved that place. And then it started. We're going over his house, hanging out with Jess and him, and watching 24, the shows, and we did that for so long. It was great, and it's now I'm not in the car industry anymore. He is. I'm in the film industry, and I found out on location, and I didn't know what to do because he always took the time to ask my brother how I was doing. Just like everyone's saying. He always asked. He always wanted to know. And I'm just going to have to try to do better because, he can't. In his impression of Louis Armstrong, we went to go karaoke all the time. Oh, Lord. Man, Lee, you had a way with people. So, but here's my brother.
Thank you, Mikey. Oh my! For me, I loved him so much, and I didn't want this to ever happen because just on any day, you could call him and be having the worst day, and then he'll give you more drama, and then you reverse it on him, and by the end of the conversation, you're laughing, and you can't stop. And his wife would get mad at me. I don't know what you did, but he can't stop laughing. I could say some things, but I'm going to keep that one personal. But I got to tell you, he knew how to warm you all up. He knew how to give without even trying. He told me after the cancer and after the heart attack, I said, Leon, are you praying? He goes, yeah, I'm praying. I said, Lee, are you praying the rosary? And he shocked me. He said, Carlos, I'm praying it every night now. Which his devotion for Christ was so deep is why he tried to lead everybody to lead and be nice to each other. That's all he wanted everyone to be, was nice to each other. And there's some faces out there I recognize. And I'm glad to see you all. But the biggest thing is that he is not God. He is a life that has lived. And we're all that life that live and be inspiration for each other. And I'm going to miss Brother Lee. I'm going to miss him because he can't talk back no more. He won't say nothing. I can call. I hear him in my head all the time now. But he's not complaining. He's laughing. He's joking. He's telling me things. And I just wanted to say, Jesse, thank you. And I'm sorry that this happened.
Kevin Welsh. And if you're confused, I'm really damn confused. Because I don't know who the real dad is now. There's a lot of humor that we have because that is how Leon ignited each and every one of us. And he and I had a very unique and special journey. I want to tell Jess how much I adore you and love you. And I know Leon's spirit is here. And in particular, too, to Katie and Kevin and Kelly and Jackie. Our kids, my kids, the kids that Leon and I raised. And of course, to Jackie, I became Uncle Kev at an early age, so there wasn't yet that confusion that went on. Leon taught me about reconciliation. And long before you might have seen in the news in the 80s of blended families, he taught it to me, and we lived it. And I could go on and tell you many, many stories of that journey of our children. But he taught me about that love that you've heard today, that you have experienced yourself today. And I was trying to find a moment I communicated with Kelly, Kevin, and Katie, but I was trying to find a way to communicate with Jackie, and I texted her and I said something about that I owe him a great deal. And sweetly and generously, Jackie said, "You don't owe anything when you're family." Within me, for all of those years, and for how he helped me be a better dad, and always was looking out for me, that I would be whole and be a better dad in front of our children. That is what I meant by owing. We had a special journey, and we just started to call ourselves D1 and D2. And as you've heard today, if you can hear Leon's voice, which Kevin probably said it best, and as he said at Katie's wedding, it takes some serious ass shit to try to diagram this family. We had a special journey. I loved him very much. If you knew our journey, no explanation is necessary. If you didn't know it, no explanation would suffice. I loved him dearly and thank him for what he's given me and us today.
She wanted to say one more thing. Oh my goodness. What an honor. What a beautiful honor. One more person. As Eve comes, here she comes. No, we'll wait for you, and I can tell a story about Leon while you take your time. I was sitting in the coffee shop one day, and my daughter called me from USC, and she said, "Dad, I have an emergency. I forgot to get portos for this whole group of people." And Leon heard it on the phone, and he said, "Come on, let's go." I'm like, "I don't know where a portos is." He says, "I know where one in Glendale." And we jumped in the car. We drove all the way to Portos, all the way to Glendale from Long Beach. Ordered up everything. And Leon came walking into USC with all of that food. Those kids went crazy. He was just so happy. That was Leon.
Look at what God has wrought. I wasn't going to say anything, but I've lied before. It's one thing that Leon and I had in common. We loved to see and hear people laugh, because your laughter opens your heart to what Spirit has to share with you. Now, I didn't come to sing. I live in Camelot. I live in the land of the newlywed and nearly dead. Palm Springs. And it's hot out there today, so I rushed on in and put on 3 layers and came to see about my little brother. The song, Spirit Won't Let It Go, in my head, so I have to do it. And I hope I'm just the mailman. Great is thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou faintest not, thy compassions, they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever will be. Sound like somebody you know? Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand has provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Summer and winter, springtime and harvest, sun, moon, and stars in their courses above. Join in all nature in manifold witness to thy great faithfulness, mercies, and love. Sound familiar? Sound like somebody you know? Great is thy faithfulness. Everybody says that. Leon was Jesus-like, but Leon was a mirror, and he reflected God's love to you. He just was a mailman. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand has provided. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. God bless you.
Speak this way.
I am Jessica there, and 25 years ago, Leon came to our life and our family. Since then, I saw Leon as a person with a big heart, and I saw my Dora happy, so I feel happy, and I say that Leon was always a person, easygoing person, young of heart, And I always ask Jessica how is he, and I feel now that we both have great friends, great friends, and I support my God. I do. Always, I do. Thank you very much for coming, and I love each other, and I saw how many friends Leon has, and I'm happy with that. Thank you very much.
So, what you guys are going to watch now is this beautiful tribute. When he got diagnosed with cancer, the doctor that was providing him treatment asked him if he would do a testimonial. And in Leon fashion, they had 45 minutes of film for a 1 minute testimonial. So I was extremely flattered when his office said, "We are going to produce a video for you that is focused just on him and shares his stories." And this morning I woke up to the video and I said, "Oh my goodness, I couldn't get it together to print an obituary to give you guys today. But we have his voice and he's telling you all about it here." So this is my last gift to you, and I really hope once this video is over, you guys will have time to come up and visit with Leon one last time.